Greetings once again, my friends and my fellow modelers. I'd like to welcome you back to another video, and a lot of attention has been given to this lovely lady, as rightfully so, in the last couple of videos. But what I'm very happy to show you guys today is we're going to do the unboxing. I got the latest shipment from AGORA Models, and that is, of course, for the beautiful 1/200 scale R.M.S. Titanic that we're working on. So without further ado, let's go over to the desk where there's more room and there's more light, and we'll check out what's in this shipment. Alright, let's open it up. And this is by AGORA Models. Alright, let's take a quick look at what we got. We've got issue. This is 73, 74, 71, 70. Let's see, that looks like 69, and finally we have 72. And that's everything that's in the box. So let's put the box aside so we can check everything out. So we've got issues number 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, and finally 74. So we're going to start with issue number 69. Let's take a look. Titanic, the ship, the legend. We've got the giant of the sea, 20th century, and the instruction sheet, and it shows you what's coming up in the next issue. We got the third section of the promenade deck. Looking over, you can see Copic and Arabic steel-hulled giants. To the far left, we got the drawing for the certification of the kinetoscope patent issued to Thomas Alva Edison by the Patent Office of the U.S. Department of the Interior. And this is a man looks through the kinetoscope, which also had synchronized sound. That's pretty cool. When you think of the early days of motion picture. All right, I love these old pages and documents. So this is actually the menu. Pages from the menus available to passengers aboard the Coptic during the transatlantic voyage in March of 1900. So, taking a look at that, you can see there's we got clam chowder, fillet of steak, broiled squab. Man, this stuff sounds pretty good. Roast beef, mutton, and veal. Man, I've seen a lot of the menus like on Titanic and of the time period. This sounds really good. Let's see, is this actually the ship? A photo of the Arabic after it had been sold to the Holland America line and renamed Sparendam. Netherlands America line steamship Sparendam, Office 89 Broadway Pier in Hoboken. Look at, she's gorgeous. I just love those ships with the masts when they're doing the crossover to all steam engines or turbines. The refrigerating machine designed to made by Ferdinand Carré. Right? A freezer ship fitted out with Carré's invention for the transportation of goods. The cover of La Domenico del Corriere of 30 May to 6 June 1909 illustrates the enthusiasm aroused by the Giro d'Italia. Alright, let's see if we can find more ship stuff. increasing in popularity. This is about the biking, and we go right into the instructions. Okay. The second section of the promenade deck. I love it. And look, we have the aft grand staircase. Because we did the forward grand staircase and I actually painted the dome, we're going to have to do the same thing for the aft. And you can see how we're going to put the decks on. Peel and stick the decks on. So that's pretty straightforward. Just moving on. This is going to be relatively simple. And then you can see how we're going to put the grand staircase at the aft end. And are we going to affix the dome? Nope, we're going to be putting the deck plates together. And that's going to be held in place with the AP screws. So this is going to be relatively simple. All right. Let's move on to issue number 70. And in this issue, we got a date with Destiny and the instructions. And it shows the aft section coming up in 71. This is William Thomas Steed, Between Two Worlds. Among the many accounts of Titanic sinking, the recollections of journalist William Thomas Steed are perhaps the most astonishing. No, my friends, that's not J. Bruce Ismay. That's who I thought it was. This is Mr. W.T. Sloper, a prominent businessman of Seattle, known to be saved. This is Mr. E.W. King, the clerk to Titanic's purser. And this lady is Estelle Steed. She was a spiritualist and a writer. She claimed she had been able to write what happened to Titanic through mediums. Let's see, these people. This is Mr. W.T. Steed, the editor, the review of reviews. And this young man is Master Harry Widener, son of the traction magnate who recently bought Rembrandt's The Mill. And this is the awful news at Lloyd's. I mean, a lot of this stuff is pretty cool. It's interesting, but I wish it was just all Titanic related or ocean liner related. I understand this is a necessary part of the history. This is the commemorative memorial in honor of William Thomas Steed on Victoria Embankment in London. W.T. Steed, 1849 to 1912. And a passion for spiritual seances from the Fox sisters to the fathers of Sherlock Holmes. So I guess that kind of stuff was even going on back then. This picture, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, and that name sounds familiar. William Thomas Steed with materialized spirit in 1897, and one of the many photographs of the time which was meant to prove the existence of ghosts and extra-human fluids, exploiting the gullibility of the public who is still in the dark about the fact that the new photographic medium could be manipulated. Obviously, we look at that today and we would laugh to say that that's a spirit caught on film. But it worked back then. Okay, going into the instructions, we got the third section of the promenade deck at the aft of the beautiful R.M.S. Titanic. Again, this is going to be relatively simple. We're going to peel and stick the decking down, and of course what we've been doing is I've been using the glue, the wood glue, just in case. And we finish putting on all of the decking. And again, this is going to be pretty simple. Then we're going to take this deck plate and we're going to attach it, and we're going to use the AP screws, and you can see the completed work. And that was issue 70. So let's go to 71 now. Moving right along, the builds so far be relatively simple. Okay, we got in this issue, Giant of the Sea. Life on board, and I love that, in the instructions. And you can see, coming up, there's another staircase. Okay, moving over, we got the Poor Man's Titanic. Years before the Titanic disaster, another steamship made newspaper headlines. A lot of you guys may not know that, and I'll get to that in a minute. On 4th of August, 1906, the Italian Ciro sank with a huge loss of life. Above left and right, La Domenica del Corriere and the illustrated supplement of La Petite Journal, both dated 19th of August, 1906, featured the front page illustrations of the drama and panic that unfolded aboard the steamship Ciro. When we think about sea disasters, and rightfully so, a lot of us think of Titanic, Lusitania, even Andrea Doria with the Stockholm. But as long as there's been an ocean or sea voyage on the ocean, there have been disasters. And not all of them got the same amount of attention. So this illustration, the shipwreck of Ciro, painted in 1907 by Brazilian artist Benedito Calixto. The image depicts a bishop blessing two Benedictine monks as they kneel in the midst of chaos and panic. You may remember in James Cameron movie Titanic, they had, when everybody was rushing to the aft deck, as the ship began to come out of the water from the aft end, from the stern, we see a priest, and they're all in prayer, and they're hanging on to him, and as the ship rises up, they're starting to pull on him, and you could just imagine the chaos that would ensue. Next, we got the survivors on board the French steamship Marie-Louise, one of the ships that was in the vicinity when disaster struck. You can see they're holding the life preserver from the Ciro. They've got a couple of them. We've got the Carpathia disembarkation. After Carpathia finally docked in New York, Titanic survivors experienced widely different treatment according to their social status. How disappointing it is to hear that. Carpathia anchored in the port of New York after the disembarkation of the passengers, including survivors of the Titanic disaster. Carpathia in herself was a beautiful ship, and again, I love the 4 masts that she had. I'd love to do a special and a history on Carpathia. I'm going to do some research, and I got a video in the planning for the history of Carpathia. And look at this beautiful color illustration of her. Again, I just love the 4-masted ships. This is the time period, guys, when they were transitioning from sail to the reciprocating steam engine. Hence, you've got the smokestack in the middle, but you can still raise. You've got the masts. Not so much for the sails, but it was just an awesome time, very unique for the ships. The Cunard advertising postcard from 1912 depicts the steamship Carpathia leaving the port of Messina. Again, beautiful ship. And I've been on the lookout for a model of the Carpathia. Ellis Island, which was the gateway to America. This is in New York Harbor. A present-day view of Ellis Island on which the buildings for reception and control of immigrants from a national museum still stand. Above, in this photograph from 1909, migrants have their first glimpse of the Statue of Liberty at the entrance of the port of New York from the deck of the ship that is taking them towards a new life. Can you imagine how exciting it must have been for those people back in the day when they're coming over for the United States? They've heard all this great stuff about prosperity and happiness and being able to live in our wonderful country. And what do they see when they enter? First thing towards land, they see the beautiful Statue of Liberty. What a great time for them it must have been. And you can see we've got davits and we've got lifeboats. What is this? This is on the Carpathia. I'm not sure if these are the Titanic's lifeboats. It doesn't say that these were from Titanic. I think these were Carpathia's lifeboats. Alright, moving on to the instructions, you can see we've got the 4th section of the promenade deck. I love it. Look, I think that's where if I'm not mistaken, is a mast going to go there, or there's something that's going to go there. And then you can see the areas where they're going to have the cranes. So again, it's the peel and stick. And we're going to put this plate on, and we're going to have a really long section when we're finished. That's going to be held in place with AP screws. So the first 3 issues are very, very basic. So the build is going to be pretty simple. Moving on to issue number 72. You can see Giant of the Sea and the instructions. Coming up in the next issue, we have the first class entrance and cabins, the small and large windows, LED cable, strip, port, and bulkhead screws. Okay, what do we got here? The SS Doric, the dinner menu. Pages showing the menu that was served on a liner Doric during a voyage in May of 1900. Alright, let's see, what is this? I love these old advertisements. This is a New Zealand shipping company poster from 1883 advertising its new monthly passengers on its powered steel-built steamships. Look at that. Steam to London, direct, by the New Zealand Shipping Company. The length of the passage is not expected to exceed 45 days. That'd be a real fun way to spend, what, a little over a month? Oh, look at these gorgeous ships. Vessels anchored at one of the piers in the port of San Francisco circa 1900. In 1895, the Doric was transferred to the route connecting the major American port with the equally strategic Asian port of Hong Kong. I love those ships. Absolutely gorgeous. And this is what I was talking about with the transition from the sailing vessels over to the steam or the reciprocating engines. Love it. Ooh, what's that lovely, lovely ship? A British military encampment during the Second Boer War, right. British troops of the 1st Battalion Worcestershire Regiment about to leave for Cape Town aboard the Union Castle liner ship Braemar Castle. The ship had been built in 1898 and deployed to the Southampton to South Africa route in the summer of 1899. That's a beautiful ship. Alright, moving on to the instructions. So take the promenade deck from the previous issue and place it upside down on your work surface. Identify the position for the LED strip. You can see we're going to put it in. We're going to fix it with the AP screws. And you can see the back with the clock. Oh, we got little benches to put on this time. And let's see, a ventilator or a vent. Nice. You can see the windows, the little frames that we're going to put in. With the promenade deck upside down, position the second class entrance on the rectangle at the aft section. And you can see the finished work. So there's nothing really that is really elaborate or difficult about these sections so far. This is kind of like the little detail things that we need to kind of do. Alright, we've got the Edwardian era, and we got the instructions. First class lounge, the support structure. Let's see. Baron Pierre de Coubertin lived from 1863 to 1937. Played a central role in a revival of the Olympic Games. And they all seem to have that J. Bruce Ismay kind of mustache back then. Let's see, this is a poster from the fencing event that was sponsored by the French government in the 1900 Paris Exposition. There was no reference here to the Olympic Games. Let's see, what is this? The vintage map of the French capital showing the places where various sporting events were held around the city. However, not all the choice venues turn out to be suitable for the type of competitions that they were hosting. And we got some more of the tennis players. On the bottom, we got the athletes in the hurdles race. The athletics in the wood. The judges for the box events taking place at the Bois de Bouillon On the bottom, a late 19th century map of the vast Parisian park. All right, onto the instructions. We've got the first class entrance and cabins. And look at the beautiful windows. I love it. We're going to put all the windows into the sides where the walls are. Absolutely gorgeous. A lot of windows in this issue. All right, once those are all on, we're going to put it onto the deck plate. You can see how we're going to put it on, and we're going to screw it into place. We're going to be using, let's see, is that AP? We're going to be using AP screws. And you can see the bulkhead that we're going to put onto the side to end promenade. And we're putting in the lights. That's one of my most enjoyable parts is lighting the models. And look how big the section's getting. All right, so that was 73 and now 74. All right, we've got the Giant of the Sea in the instructions. So we've got another section of the superstructure. We got the service area. And look at this lovely lady. This is, let's see, a painting by the English artist William Lionel Willey from 1851 to 1931. It depicts the Kaiser and the Prince of Wales inspecting Titanic on the 4th of August, 1889. So this was a luxury cruiser, Titanic. You can see the masts, and it looks like she has 3 masts because it moved up to 2 funnels in the middle. Midship. Oh, look at that beautiful picture of her. Titanic was built at the Harland and Wolff shipyards in Belfast. It was completed on July 25th of 1887 and undertook her maiden voyage on August 7th of 1889. Look at that beautiful, beautiful ship. Gorgeous. The first class interiors aboard Titanic. One of the wood-paneled first class cabins. The first class smoking room. Look at that, it's gorgeous. The first class smoke room. And the library with the grand staircase. Wow, she was a spectacular ship. All right, this is a view of New York City painted in 1880. The Hudson River and New Jersey shore to the left. In the foreground and to the right, the Port of New York and the Governor's Island, Battery Park, Manhattan, the East River, the neighborhood of Brooklyn and Brooklyn Bridge are all in the center. Okay, moving on to the instructions, and it looks like we have more windows to put in. More lights, more windows, and you can see this is going to be another supporting wall for the superstructure. We got more of the windows that we're going to be putting in. Look at that. Look at the bend in them. We're going to have to curve them gently to get them to fit in. Oh, I love it. I love the way they put just the thought that went into this model. The 2 large windows C fit together in the smaller openings of the curved wall of the reading room. Glue them into place as shown. You've got that lovely kind of bow. All right, what are we going to do with that now? We're going to put that onto the deck plates. This is going to help with the superstructure. And we're going to be putting quite a few screws in there. Those are going to be AP screws that are going to hold it in place. You can see how it's starting to look. And let's see, what is this section? The support structure. Nice. And then finally we're going to put in the LED strip. I love it. So, in these issues, we've really made a deck. The deck plates, and we put in the wood. First class cabin and reading room with the windows have been fitted on a promenade deck. The cable 74D will be connected in a future issue. So those are the issues. We've got 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, and 74. The first issue is issue number 69. So let's open this up and we're going to check it out. Look at this. Oh, we got a little envelope first. So let's see what's in here. This would be the staircase, and hopefully you guys can see that. I love it. Maybe we're replacing the one that's in there because this one has the okay, I think I understand what it is. This is the top, so perhaps this is the one that's going to go under the dome at the aft section, and the top level way up on top, and then the one on the bottom. I'm not sure yet, we'll see. But anyway, you can see the grand staircase and the railings that are on the top floor. Love it. Absolutely love Titanic. Well, I guess if you guys have watched my channel or know anything about me, you know how much I love Titanic. Anyway, alright, here's a deck plate section. And look at, it's got the floor. They put little printing on so you can see the tiles that are going to be in the area. And then this is where the decking is going to go. Let's see, it looks like we have some screws here. So we've got a bag of AP screws. And lastly, we have the decking. And they did a great job. It just looks amazing. And that's everything that's in issue 69. Moving on to issue number 70, we've got another piece of the deck. You can see where all well, this is where the grand staircase is going to go here, and you can see we've got more area for the decking. And on the bottom, we're going to be putting the little clips. That's where the lighting, the LED strip is going to go. All right, we got a little bag of AP screws. And lastly, we have the decking itself with the little adhesive sticker on the back. And what we actually do is I've been gluing them with wood glue. We don't want them to come up. All right, moving on to issue number 71. Oh, first thing I noticed, we got a bag of the AP screws. We got the tissue paper, and then we go to the back. You can see the back section where the promenade is, and the cranes are going to go in the back. This is where the decking is going to go on. And I do believe that the mast, or the aft mast, is going to come from here. You can see on the bottom where the LED strips are going to go. And this is one piece. So this is going to go just like this. And we're going to put that on and we're going to glue it into place. This one's a little smaller, but it's got more things in it. All right, let's check out the first pouch. And I think we got like the benches, and so this one we've got, let's put the wall down for a minute. We've got a little vent, and we've got the second class entrance, so one of them that's going to go at the aft end of the ship. You can see where the windows are going to go in. Let me see, we got another little envelope. I think this is the one that's got, we got some benches, or is this again a staircase? So you can see another section of the grand staircase. And again, I think this is the one that's going to be going down. This section is for the one that for the top staircase, and this is going to be for the steps. You can see it's going to go on just like that, and you can see the clock. So that's what was in that little pouch. I think that's everything in there. Yeah. All right, we got one more pouch left, and I think this has like the benches and stuff in it. Yeah. So we've got 4 benches, and we have the windows. I know that's pretty tiny. So let me go ahead. I'm going to put these right back in so we don't lose them. Make sure I got them all in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. All right, what else we got? We got a bag of AP screws. We've got a cable. This is the 2-pronged cable. It's going to connect the LED to the power supply or to another LED. And finally, we got the LED power strip itself. You can see the lights. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 6 lights, and we have the little jacks that we're going to plug the cables into. That's everything in this shipment. First thing I notice is we have a package of screws, and it's stuck to the... Let's see, these would be... I think that's AP screws. And we got another wire cable. And this probably came out of the pack because it was open, because the bag was stuck to the adhesive. But in this one, we've got a small photo etch sheet, and we've got the first class windows. And look at those beautiful arches. And we got the bulkheads that are going to go to close off the promenade decks. All right. We've got the lighting strip. You can see we've got, what, 6 LED lights. And we got a bulb at the end. It's going to be lighting something up. Let's see. We have... Is that everything? All right, this is it. So we got the structure of the walls. And let's see. Hopefully you guys can see them. We're going to be gluing a lot of windows. But that's okay. That's going to be fun. You can see the doors. And that's everything in issue number 73. All right, let's check it out. First thing I noticed, we got more screws. And as up to this point, all the screws have been the AP screws. And the P, the last letter, meaning it's going to be going into plastic. So we got to be careful not to over tighten them. And this feels like more windows. So let's check this photo etch sheet out. Look at that. Then we've got the reading room windows that we're going to be slightly bending to fit the curvature of the wall. Let's see, we got another one. I think these are more windows. Nope, this is the support piece. It's going to go and help support the upper deck. We got another cable with the 2 prongs, and we have another section of the walls. And this is going to be anchored by the AP screws. So you can see it's going to be more gluing of the windows. And look how the little bows, beautiful. And be able to stroll down the deck of Titanic or the promenade. I would love that. All right, and lastly, we've got the lighting strip. And this one has, again, 6 lights, and we've got the 3 jacks. And that's everything in shipment number 74. And there you have it, my friends. We have issues number 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, and 74. And it may nothing be that spectacular in these issues, but we're building the foundations for the deck, and we're going to be building off that with the walls, and we've got the staircase, sections of the grand staircase that we're going to be doing. And with this, well, with all of the videos that I do in this series, the first video is always the unboxing. I want to show you guys absolutely everything that comes in the shipments, and then the second video of the shipment is going to be the build. I'm not going to go over anything. That's what this video is for. So my friends, we're going to be doing the build very shortly, and until then, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.